This video is powered by BetUS. Use promo code YouTube150 to get your 150% sign-up bonus. Start playing today with an exclusive offer. Shout out to BetUS for being the proud sponsor of Roundtable Sports.
Steeler Nation, welcome back to the AFC North Roundtable, and hello to the Ravens, Bengals, and Browns too. We're all in the same boat. Every single one of us are all in the same boat. And all I can say, guys, is for the AFC North Roundtable out there, it's been a fun year, been awesome. Been so cool to be a part of this, and I can't wait to explore it even more. However, now we have to cheer on the Eagles to beat the Chiefs. Don't want to see it. And I'm also questioning if I'm going to watch the Super Bowl because the flags have been coming out here and there, right? So we're all in the same boat. Bengals, Ravens, Steelers, Browns. Everyone's in the same boat. We didn't make the Super Bowl. Here we are talking about the offseason. And for the Steelers 2024 season, there are some highs, some lows, and I'm going to give you my take on it, on what I thought happened this season and what maybe can happen in the future for a 2024 Steelers like season, I guess post or rundown, right? It's all over, but we're going to talk about it. So I'm going to start with the negatives first, though, because the negative really was the bad, sour taste in every single Steelers fan's mouths right now. Is it feels like the exact same scenario where we left off when we began the year. Didn't know what quarterback we had. Right now, we have no quarterbacks on the roster. Fields, they could sign him. He's a free agent. Russell Wilson could sign him. He's a free agent. They got no quarterbacks. It feels like we went 10-7. They lost 5 games in a row. I was over in America to see, be a part of inside of a Pittsburgh Steelers bar when the Ravens absolutely tore us apart and they won that game. I was there in stadium to see Steelers versus Chiefs, and you don't just verse the Chiefs, as the Bills out there know, Bills fans out there, you verse the Chiefs and the referees. So we got tore apart too, 29-10. The Steelers went on a massive slide to end the season. We lost 5 games in a row. So a lot of fan base, for the negative that it is, and yes, it's very tough to win playoff games and very tough, I think, to win games in the NFL. And 12 teams have never won the Super Bowl and 4 have never been. At the same time, though, I understand the frustration. I'm a Mike Tomlin guy, but I get it. I understand the frustration that we have not won a playoff game in 7 years or 8 years. Well, it's now 5 times in a row and 4 times in a row, first round exit. And in the playoffs, the Ravens were up 21-0. So something needs to change, right? And Art Rooney II was talking to Steelers.com and did an interview with them and said he's going to run back with the OC and run back with the DC. And Mike Tomlin isn't leaving, if you like it or not, until probably 2027. And we've got the draft coming up as well in 2026 in Pittsburgh, which I'm going to try and hopefully go to. Got to find a hotel, and I need to get there. I can't wait for that. It's going to be amazing. But this season, there was a lot of negatives, right? There was the bad play from the offensive line. There was a bad play from Russell Wilson. There was no real depth at receiver position. Our defense allowed 299 yards rushing the football in the last meetup versus the Ravens. Like, this team broke down right near the end. Right near the very end was just like, you know what? It almost felt like they gave up to a certain sense, but I'm not going to say that exactly because these guys are football players. They're trying their hardest, but there was communication errors from the secondary, linebackers, D-line, and the defense overall and overall scheme. And I'm getting sick of, I think, Terrell Austin's zone scheme when they play so far back and allow a receiver to catch the ball and run 20 yards for a first down. Communication was just not happening on our defense. Busted plays. Cameron Sutton was one of the weak links, I think, in there. Other cornerbacks sometimes didn't show up. JPJ was good some weeks. Next week, he wasn't. Minkah was very quiet for a guy who needs to be a playmaker. But I understand that Minkah got voted to the Pro Bowl and is doing his part, making tackles and make sure there wasn't a big play on the back on the as a safety, not allowing a massive play. But communication was very key in that sense, and that defense was a low light in the negative, right? After this break, after this sponsored break via BetUS, I'm going to go into the positive, but we did end on a very, very negative. So make sure you check out this ad right now. And after this break, I'm going to talk about the positive. Welcome back, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to the AFC North round table. Look, you can spend a lot of time talking about the negative and what we did wrong. And it does feel like that overall just storm cloud of negative, angry emotions. And it's the same old same. Standard is a standard for our Pittsburgh Steelers. I get it. 100%. 100%.
Huge shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's show. If you guys go to BetUS, you guys can use a 150% bonus on your first deposit to get a 150% bonus, 125% on your next two. That's up to $2,000. The Super Bowl is here. Chiefs, Eagles, and the early odds is in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs with 1-point favorites with the money line at -127, and the over-under is at 49. If you want to check out BetUS, you can already bet on the Super Bowl. They have a lot of fun prop bets. You can even bet on the coin toss if you wanted to. Are the Chiefs going to win the coin toss, or are the Eagles going to win the coin toss? And if you stay tuned to BetUS, they always come out with the best Super Bowl prop bets on the entire planet. So definitely go check out BetUS at betus.com.pa and using the promo code YouTube150 when you sign up today.
But I'm going to list a few positives. Even though I think the Pickens drama right now is like, do you sign him for a contract? I think he overall was a positive. I think our offensive line was a positive during the 10-3 run until they fell apart near the end. I thought our run game was okay in certain parts, with Najee getting 1,000 yards. At the same time, though, they've run the ball that much. They were ranked like, I think, 27 rushing yards average, I'm pretty sure, in the league. So even though he got 1,000 yards as a positive, but still a slight negative, I thought Calvin Austin did really well playing receiver and stepping up into his third year. Didn't have Roman Wilson for us because he was out for injury. A lot of guys out for injury too. Zach Frazier, I think he was a positive on the offensive line, playing center. Got a bit hurt too. Next to him was Mason McCormick. He got injured right near the end. He was a positive, filling in for James Daniels. I would say too, Frymouth, they need to use him more, but he was a positive, getting like 7 TDs. The offense looked to me better than Matt Canada. They're still same time, though. It wasn't an overall explosive offense, and it felt held back. Now, Justin Fields, they could sign him to a 2-year, 3-year contract. Maybe they go that route and bring him back to see if he can be the franchise guy. The Steelers are definitely missing a franchise guy. That's what they're missing. Missing a franchise quarterback like Lamar Jackson, like Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patty Mahomes. They're missing someone like that, Jaden Daniels, to have some kind of like identity for the team. So I thought he was a positive too. He went 4-2 as a starter. Now at the time, Mike Tomlin made the move to go back to Russell Wilson as a QB1. I said that from the very beginning that was going to happen. It did happen. Then he went on to go 6-5 in the next like 11 games or whatever, and that's how we went the 10-7 record. So we went the same record that we had with Rudolph and Kenny Pickett. And now Kenny Pickett, somehow, some way, is going to the Super Bowl as a backup quarterback. But does it really count? Probably not. But positives, look, to me, it was a fun season. Every season I watched Steelers football is a fun season. But the fun part was really having that chance to win the AFC North. It's a time before the gauntlet that was the Eagles and Ravens and Chiefs and not Bears. There was the Bengals in there. We thought, oh, yeah, we could win the AFC North, maybe get the 2nd seed or 3rd seed and see how we go in the playoffs. And then everything just fell apart. But that was a real positive on that time where you thought that Coach Tomlin was going to be Coach of the Year. You thought this team could win a playoff game. They could win the AFC North. But it all fell apart, right? But that run with the 10-3, everybody was high as a kite. We're just so effing happy to be a part of this. And now Steelers, as a fandom, were like, man, we have a chance, right? Then it all came crashing back to reality. So this year in 2025, as we go through no real changes at the moment, Lions and other teams out there, the Jaguars and the Saints and the Raiders are all getting new coaches and changing pieces. But the Steelers have done absolutely nothing in terms of changing anyone from OC to DC. There's just no one overly changing. I think Carl Dunbar, a D-line coach, he might be a free agent. Do they bring him back? Let's hope so. But it's still, to me, I think the Rooneys and the organization, they're probably going to wait the next few weeks to see how the Super Bowl goes. Maybe after that is when they start making the choices to change. But they're going to run it back with Arthur Smith in second year. They have confidence in him. Some fan base, the fan base might not, but the Steelers do. They're going to run it back with Charleston and DC and maybe build through the draft. Go D-line. Oh, one big positive too was Cameron Hayward. Cameron Hayward had a fantastic year at on the D-line position, getting his paws up for like 8 times in a row to knock it down. So the guys like that. But ultimately, all these highs came crashing down into a real low, and the fan base was like, you know what? We're trying to cheat, we're trying to support, but every time it happens the exact same way. Like Mike Tomlin's team does go into the playoffs and loses the game or starts the game 0-21. And it seems like the same rinse and repeat script or narrative or driven product as the Steelers football that isn't played like that has been happening over the last few years. Now, I'm pretty optimistic for this season. I just need a few months to start to get myself involved in the free agency, the draft, training camp, because we've got to start all again. And until we find that franchise quarterback, that Steelers franchise quarterback, like these other teams have, I just don't know what direction the Steelers are going. And that's kind of crazy to say that, because we had Big Ben for 18 years. And you're like, oh, it'd be easy. Just run it back with Big Ben, get some guys, some receivers and offensive line, get a running back, and just build around Big Ben. And when you had AB days, it was fantastic. Now we don't have that. The Steelers don't know who their franchise quarterback is. They're playing very, very similar football to how they were back in 2007, 8, 9, 10. Run the football, get defense turnovers, and try and win a game by a possession or two. So I'm optimistic at the same time. I'm a little bit worried what direction the franchise is going. Let me know, guys, in the comments below for the AFC North Roundtable, what you think about the Steelers. Was it a good, successful year? Was it a fun year? Are you frustrated? Are you mad? What are your thoughts about 2025? I'll see you guys later.
This video is powered by BetUS. Use promo code YouTube150 to get your 150% sign-up bonus. Start playing today with an exclusive offer. Shout out to BetUS for being the proud sponsor of Roundtable Sports.